Picture this. You are walking down the street and something bright red catches your attention. Your brain snaps instantly before you even realized what exactly it is. Why does this happen? It is because your brain is wired to detect contrast. Today we are diving deep into the psychology behind contrast, the science, the particles, the perception, and how this invisible force shapes everything from design to your daily life. Our brain has been wired to notice differences: movement against stillness, light against dark, predator against environment. Contrast originally wasn't about making things look pretty. It is actually there in our brains to make sure that we don't get eaten. In fact, neuroscientists describe our vision system as a contrast amplifier. Neurons don't just see color or light. They see fire when they detect a difference between one area and another. And that is why black text on a white background works so well. It is not just design convention. That is literally the way your brain prefers to process information. Let's zoom in a little further on a particle level. Contrast exists everywhere. Hot and cold, dense and sparse, charged and neutral. Design unconsciously mimics this natural principle. Placing a heavy, bold element next to something that is light and airy naturally creates balance. You can think of contrast as the gravity that is keeping your design orbiting together rather than falling apart. When opposites meet, that's where we see energy. That is when the eye locks in. It is the same principle whether you're looking at a nebula, a painting, or a poster. Okay, so let's talk about the types of contrast. First up, we have color contrast. Color is emotional. Red raises heart rates. Blue calms. But if you put them side by side, then boom, your brain experiences tension and drama. Designers can use that to direct attention or spark an emotion, even manipulating moods. And next up, we have size contrast. Our brains love hierarchy. A bigger shape, it screams importance. A smaller one, it whispers context. Without contrast, everything shouts at the same volume. And if everything is shouting, then the viewer just checks out. And next we have shape contrast. Mixing geometric and organic shapes activates curiosity. It's like a puzzle for the brain. Psychologists, they call it the novelty effect. Our attention spikes when we see something that is unexpected. And last but not least, we have texture contrast. Texture tricks our brain into feeling design. Smooth against rough creates tactile illusion. That is why pairing a matte background with glossy lettering feels luxurious. Okay, here's the kicker. Contrast doesn't just make things look pretty. Psychologists who study eye tracking, they find that people scan posters in a very predictable way. They are always drawn to the areas of the greatest contrast first. Contrast is basically like the compass of design. Think about headlines, call to action buttons, or even warning signs. All of these rely heavily on contrast psychology to demand attention. And not all contrast has to scream. Subtle contrast is like a good conversation. It is measured, it's layered, it's intriguing. And extreme contrast, it's like shouting in a crowd. It works, but it better be worth it. As designers, we have to choose our moments. So part of my personal process is that I sit down and I ask myself, what do I want people to notice first? And then I build a secondary contrast around that. And as for what I use to do that, that really depends on the project. Sometimes it's color, sometimes it's size, sometimes texture, and the rest is negative space, so the main elements could shine. See the difference? One is forgettable, and the other one tells our brain exactly where to look. So here's the deeper truth. Contrast isn't just about visuals. It is about storytelling. Every story needs tension. Every brand, it needs an identity. Contrast, it creates difference. And difference is what makes us remember. So next time that you are designing, just remember, you're not just arranging shapes. You are actually working with the psychology of attention and emotion. Contrast is the secret language that our brains naturally speak fluently. But okay, thanks for spending time with me today. I hope this video sparked something in you. And if it did, please give it a like and subscribe. And share in the comments, how do you use contrast in your design work? But that's all I have for you for now. See you next time. Bye. And that is where the all of these rely heavily on